what they did to your family, you're lucky to make it out alive.
Streaming on Peacock.
These men are going to come after me. Taking them out is my only chance.
Put a bullet in her head.
From the co-creator of Ozark.
Looks like a family was running drugs.
Execution-style killing, it's rare for the Keys. And it leads on who they might have been running for.
The cartel killed my family. I'm gonna kill them. All of them.
MIA. Streaming now. Only on Peacock.
Well, hello there, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Melanin Mayhem podcast, hosted by your favorite country girl, Renee Davis. If this is your first time linking up with the Mayhem, ooh, honey, you in for a treat today, because you see, I bring you the stories of some of the most heinous, diabolical, and downright audacious crimes of the serial variety committed by prolific melanated criminals that you may have never heard about. Because, you know, our stories don't get played like that in the mainstream media, so it's on me to spread the word and dispel the myth that there are certain types of crimes that black people don't commit, because, baby, lies, I tell you, lies. We do it all, been doing it all, and I am here to spill all the tea. And it goes down real easy too. Don't it, New Orleans Nation? Hey, crime cousins, how we feeling today? Mother's Day was this past weekend. I hope all the mothers and the women that stand in the gap had a really good day. I also hope that those whose mothers have passed on or are not in the picture for whatever reason, I hope y'all had a good day too. You see, all holidays don't bring happiness, and I do know that it can be hard. So shout out to all of y'all that made it through without mama. Ooh, and it's also May. That's graduation season. It's upon us. And I know some of y'all are knee deep in proms and fees and senior this and that. Honey, I pray for your strength and your wallets, because, ooh, child. I remember those days. Baby, I'm going to tell you, ain't nothing in the world like having grown children. The disposable income of it all. There is light at the end of the tunnel, y'all. Graduation is upon you. You know, I need to do a podcast on this here new phase of life, trying to figure out what to do with myself and all these that blasted biological changes that your girl is totally unprepared for. Perimenopause, menopause, whatever you want to call it, that hoe ain't no joke. Ain't nobody told me all this shit was gonna go down like this. Why in the hell is my body betraying me? And what in the fuck is what I want to know? I'm trying to convince my gynecologist, y'all, to come on and do a segment with me. I love her to death. She my boo thing. Because, you know, I got questions, and I'm thinking maybe y'all do too. She's so good, and I just want her to get out here and just talk and spread the word, because, baby, she is the best. So hopefully I can get a special segment on maybe black women's health, and we can talk about some things. Y'all know I always stay up in the kitchen trying to cook up something for you. Now, let's see. As far as church announcements go, y'all know the building fund is still there. I'm in a silly mood because I'm so hot about this story, but it's the usual. Don't forget the Melanin Mayhem website. That's melaninmayhempodcast.com for all of your merchandise needs, as well as the e-guide in case you got a story that you want to get out from case to compelling. Ooh, and we cannot forget about the Melanin Mayhem original story series. Ooh, child, y'all are loving it. I see this week NDC had y'all on fire. I was looking through the social media page, and I see y'all talking about we need a discussion group just for the subscription side. I hear y'all. We might have to put something together on that. I'm glad that you all are enjoying the stories, and understand I got plenty more in me, honey, because this is fun. This is like, woo, it's fiction. I can do anything. And as you can see, I be doing anything. Oh, let's see. Also, please don't forget to like and follow on the social medias, as well as on your streaming service, the Spotify and Apple of it all. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I alluded to it a little bit. This case got me heated, y'all. You know, we talk about the prolific ones over here at Melanin Mayhem. And this one today is most definitely checking off all the boxes to be a mayhem maker. Audacious, chick. Diabolical, for sure, chick. Negastical? Check. Y'all, I'm so fucking disgusted about this shit we about to talk about today because it's a nasty piece of work. No murderations this week at all, but it's also a crime, in my opinion, that's right there with it. I'm talking about serial rape. This motherfucker we're going to talk about today put the capital S on serial. And it just makes my blood boil how he did what he did when he did what he did. But we're going to push through and we're going to drag this pathetic, morally bankrupt, depraved son of a bitch to the front of the congregation to read his punk ass for filth. So without further ado, this week's Melanin Mayhem maker is Mr. Robert Patton Jr., a.k.a. the Linden area rapist. All right, y'all, let's get on into it. And we are going to pretty much jump into this head first. Robert N. Patton Jr. was born November 10th, 1963. Now, I have no idea who his mama was, but I do know that he is a junior, so I would assume that his daddy's name was Robert Patton Sr. I also assume that he was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, and that's really all I got as far as background on this motherfucker. I also want to point out real quick that in cases of rape, many times no names are used unless the victim goes public. So while I have a lot of rape to talk about, I don't have a lot of names to go with the victims, and that's okay. They know who they are, and hopefully they are getting the help and the support that they need to get through. We don't need to know their names to know that it happened. All right. And since we're going to jump straight into his shenanigans with this one, I also just got to say this. This nigga, in his heyday, he reminded me of that dude that used to play on CSI. The light-skinned dude with the pretty eyes. I think his name was Gary Dourdan or something like that. This nigga, he's like the Timu version of Gary, but he easy on the eyes. So for the life of me, I cannot understand why he did the shit he did. Like, he didn't have to. Them eyes alone should have been able to keep him with a steady rotation of women to entertain. But oh no, honey, he preferred to snatch some snatch. And from what I can tell, he had a preference for the unseasoned women. And when I tell you what he did, there will be cussing. Now, I have to dress it up a little bit. So let's go on ahead and get into when we first come across Robert Patton's puss ass. It would seem at first glance that Robert with the pretty eyes was just a petty thief, always in possession of some shit that wasn't his. His early criminal record is all about all mannerisms of thievery. July 7th, 1983, he was indicted for aggravated burglary. They gave him a bond and he pled guilty in August of that year, and they sentenced him to 4 to 15 years. He does 5 and he pops back out on the scene somewhere around 1988. But a thieving motherfucker gonna thieve. And Robert got out and went right back to doing what he do. And we find ourselves May 27th, 1988, same year he gets out, he is indicted again for receiving stolen property. They locked his ass up in June and he pled not guilty at first, and then when the trial came around, he pled guilty and they sentenced him to a year. Now, in and out of prison is what Robert is doing, and he gets out somewhere around 1990, and right around that same time frame in late 80s, he got out a couple of times on parole and went back in, but somewhere around 87 through the 90s, rapes began happening in Columbus, Ohio, specifically in the Linden neighborhood, right? And I'm telling y'all, this shit went on for more than a decade. The first documented rape that we had happened February 1992 when 23-year-old Christina Ruth was in her house minding the business that pays her, right? Well, Christina hears a knock at the door, and even though she's in for the night and not necessarily expecting company, she did what the Caucasus peoples do, and she opened up her door just to see what it was that she had heard. Well, what she had heard was Robert roaming around in her backyard, and he forces his way in and hits the light so Christina can't see him, and then this low-down, funky motherfucker proceeded to rape her for the next 3 hours. 3 motherfucking hours. That's, 180 minutes of rapery? Sweet honey in the rock. Jesus. As if that wasn't bad enough. Then this diabolical motherfucker, he just in here taking his time, right? After he's done, he just strolls out of her house, unbothered, unconcerned. Christina, of course, calls the cops and she goes to the hospital where they get plenty of baby batter out of her. But then it's a whole bunch of nothing. I mean, the biggest nothing burger that you could ever eat. And in all this nothingness, this serial rapist would go on to rape 5 more women in the next 12 months after Christina, including this lady. Her name was Nancy Follins. All of this is going down in the Linden neighborhood of Columbus, right? And these women are joining a growing list of women that were sexually violated in their homes. Well, you know, we talking about the snow bunnies here, and so the word starts to get out that there is a serial rapist on the streets of Linden, and that the women, the white women, needs to be careful. All of the victims are recounting a similar story of how a man pushed his way into their home some kind of way and attacked them. He told them to shut their eyes or he would kill them. And while he did threaten them and they made a show of closing their eyes, you know, every time they had a chance to look, they did, you know, to try to see what details of this pussy snatching motherfucker they could find, right? And slowly a composite sketch started to come together. And although the sketch was flawed, some aspects of the description stood amongst the women that were attacked. They all agreed that the attacker was a black man. He was about 5'10"-ish, light-skinned, had a few scars, but you know, still, even in the best of situations, eyewitness testimony is a crapshoot. So the case still didn't pick up no traction, even with the amount of bodies that were being racked up, right? But because all of the victims are members of the Snowflake Brigade, the police are out and they are telling people to watch themselves because, hey, you could get got. And so the block is hot and the snow bunnies is hopping, and then all of a sudden, no more rapes. Everything is just quiet on the home front. Y'all want to know why? Because that pussy snatching Robert ass is back in the cage. October 6, 1992, he got for receiving stolen property again. They let him out on his own recognizance a week later. But for whatever reason, he decided to lay low, you know, I guess because since the bonding company was all up in the mix. I mean, what else could it be? The police have been looking for him for a hot minute, and he ain't stopped in all of this time, all the raping and the robbing. But now he got this little thievery charge, and all of a sudden he's celibate. But, you know, we'll take it because the women of Linden need a break. Well, February 23rd of 1993, Robert pled guilty, again, of being in possession of somebody else's material things, and they gave him another year, 12 funk-ass months. And when all along, this nigga been up to way, way, way more shenanigans than what he getting caught for. So this pulls this punk puss-ass stealing thief off the streets for a while, which is, again, a little time out for the women of Linden. But then he pops back up on the scene, 1994, and as usual, damn near to the minute that he hit the streets, the raping and the robbing start back up. So we find ourselves February 11th, 1995. A woman named Yvonne Merle is asleep in her bed in her house, and all of a sudden she can feel somebody getting in the bed with her. Now she coming up out of a dead sleep, and it's a man grabbing her and rolling her over so that he is behind her, telling her not to look at him. So he basically is spooning her, but he got a knife to her throat, telling her it's about to go down. And then he proceeds to rape this woman in her bed, in her house. And when he was through, he just got up and walked out the back door. Like, what the fuck? My blood is just fucking boiling because you stinking puss-ass, degenerate, pussy-stealing, woman-hating bastard, you just fucking trifling. I mean, y'all, the absolute nerve, gall, and audacity. In her house, this woman was asleep, like REM sleep, deep, deep sleep, second dream sleep. And, ooh, sweet black Jesus, this just fucks me up. I mean, rape is bad anytime, full stop. But to be sleeping peacefully, you don't understand what I mean. I'm talking about the kind of sleep that you get when you in your house that you paid for and you sleeping in your bed that you paid for. That kind of sleep, you know? That every day I lay down, I do not expect for Mr. Raper Man to come up in my shit while I'm getting my slumber on. I mean, the terror of it all. I cannot imagine how scared these women have been. As soon as Robert leaves, she called the police and they came and they took the evidence, and all of that led to a whole lot of more nothing. Some new who the hell is this alien sketches, right? And so what I can tell you about this is an ongoing thing. Unless Robert is locked up, he is raping. And one of the ways that they tried to solve this case was by putting more police officers on the street. Like, Robert was walking around with a "I'm the raping raper man that you're looking for" a t-shirt on or some shit like that. I mean, it did nothing because Robert would break into these women's houses, steal their shit, and if they were there, he would rape them on his way out. And after Yvonne got, 7 more women got just like that. And so, again, the Columbus police, they trying, but it's all a swing and a miss. DNA is not helping because they are not finding any matches in the system. So they aren't any closer to finding out who the raping raper that's raping the women of Linden is than they were when this shit first started. But you know what? Even a slippery motherfucker like Robert will eventually get caught, and his shit is gonna get swabbed if he keep going in and out of prison. And baby, September 21st, 1995, he was charged again with burglary, kidnapping, and theft. I couldn't find no details on this case. Like, oh my God, this Ohio court in particular that I went and got all these records from, they use microfiche. Ain't nobody got time for that, honey. So we're going to have to just roll with these charges. He pled guilty to the shit beginning of the year 1996, and they sentenced his ass finally to some real time. He got 10 years for that shit. So Robert was sent off to the Orient Correctional Institution to serve his time, and around this time is when mandatory DNA samples were becoming a thing for prisons, right? So at some point, they are going to get around to getting Roberts. So you got to think, oh shit, Robert, here we go. They about to nail your raping ass to the cross now, because we just know that motherfucking DNA machine gonna do what the DNA machine gonna do, right? Ohio had been collecting DNA since 1997, you know? And so they were collecting the samples. They were linked up to the federal database. So you would think that this is gonna be a slam dunk, right? Well, it's always some shit in the game. Funding for DNA processing, it dried up in mid-2001 in Ohio, right? And at that time, when all of the funding went away, there were like 14,000 swabs from convicts that were just waiting to be tested, meaning 14,000 criminals whose crime may have still been outstanding and waiting on DNA to seal the deal. They never made it that far. And from what I could also tell, it didn't look like that Ohio swabbed the inmates until they were on their way out the door, right? So even though Robert went in when the funding was there, he wasn't tested until he throwed the deuces to the big house. And at that time, yeah, they took a swab, but they had run out of money to do the testing. So yeah, they got his DNA, but they ain't gonna do nothing with it, So it's just a whole bunch of nothing. This case is full of nothing happened. Nothing. Robert's sample was just sitting in a container, waiting. Robert would get out of prison in 2001, and what'd he do? Go right back to the streets of Linden, terrorizing the Caucasical women. Baby, let me tell you. Candy Brewer was raped Christmas night 2001. Now, ain't that about a bitch? I mean, there is really not a good time to get raped, but on a holiday, that's like a little extra fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Now, Candy say it was late, and she heard a knock on her door. Again, Candy wasn't expecting no company. It's late, she in the bed, retired for the night, you know what I'm saying? And somebody knocking on her door. Candy did what Caucasical people do. She went to her door, and she didn't ask from the closed door, hey, who is this? Who at my house this time of night? Candy went to the door, and she opens up the door with the chain on. Man, that motherfucker on the other side of that door kicked that motherfucker open and rushed Candy. And then that trifling motherfucker proceeded to rape Candy. And that ain't even the worst part. Candy wasn't in the house by herself. Her baby was right there in the bed with her. On the bed. Her son, sleep. And so Robert is all on top of her, threatening to kill her if she say anything. She's being raped right next to her son, so she's trying to be quiet because she don't want him to wake up, but he does wake up. And so in the midst of being raped, this woman is trying to soothe her son and get him to go back to sleep and not realize and recognize that his mama is being violated right there next to him. Because that disgusting piece of shit, Robert, he didn't stop the entire time. Motherfucker. After Candy, he would proceed to rape and rob 13 more women. And yeah, DNA was some things that they were able to collect at the crime scenes. Something that would have sent his ass up the river still sat untested, unfucking thought about, which is just unfucking believable. They had everything they needed. Everything. And they didn't do anything with it. At this point, we talking this last subset of women, 13 women that have been violated, raped. And this pussy ass nigga is getting smarter because now that DNA is getting motherfuckers caught up, Robert gonna switch up his MO and start making his victims wash up after he raped them to wash away any evidence. Meanwhile, the government clearly don't give a fuck about the victims because it takes them another 3 years to come up with a budget that included funding for the goddamn testing. I know. The Ohio state legislature, they didn't find the money to get started on the backlog of DNA samples until around March of 2004. But even then, it was some bullshit because the funding that was set aside was for a different backlog of biological evidence. They had about 6,000 blood samples that needed to be processed in addition to the 14,000 plus mouth swabs. But they only gave enough money to get the blood processed, not the swabs. And this case highlights all the bullshit red tape that's in our government. The Ohio Department of Corrections, they taking the swabs, but ain't nobody to test them once they get them. And then I read a story that the Attorney General said that he was asking for some more money and he got it, but he only allocated it to go to a specific type of testing rather than have it be distributed all around for all types of DNA testing, right? And you know, the senators, they come in and they throw they bullshit in the game talking about how we need to do better and the backlog is still backlogging and all that shit. And it becomes a political thing, right? The attorney general's office comes back and they like, hey, we ain't asking nobody at the state level for no money just yet, but we will take any loose change that the feds got. And that got me to thinking, because I'm like, wait a minute, let me see if I get this state. And after I read this story, I was like, wait a minute, let me see if I get this straight. So the attorney general, what you're saying is that Ohio criminals in Ohio prisons got forensic samples that need to be tested in Ohio labs to help solve Ohio crimes, but the Ohio Attorney General didn't feel the need to ask the Ohio state government to put some of that Ohio taxpayer money into testing Ohio criminals' DNA connected to Ohio crimes. Is it me? Or is that just too much like right? Like, make this shit make sense. The government is some bullshit. Always has been, always will be. Like, good God almighty. Ugh. Meanwhile, Robert Rape 'em Up Patton, he out here living his best raper McRape man life. Breaking in folks' shit, raping anybody that he come across, and everybody know. Like, this is not a secret. Everybody is in fear of the Linden area rapists. I mean, we talking about the pink Himalayan salt sickles here getting raped and pillaged by a black man over the span of 13 years. Do you know how long 13 years is? I mean, this nigga here was diabolical. And it didn't have to be this way. They had what they needed to nail his ass to the cross and they ain't do nothing with it. That's fucking unconscionable. It's just wrong. But finally, the money is coming in and the backlogs are getting worked. And now it's just a matter of time until Robert Spit gets a hit. But unfortunately, the women of Columbus, oh, they were taking a big L, honey. I'm talking about body blows, man. But all things must come to an end. And on June 6, 2004, Robert Patton would rape his final victim, Diana Cunningham. He broke into this woman's house, same MO, just like he did Yvonne and all the other women before them. Woke her up out her sleep. Now, she wake up to a man on top of her with his hands around her throat, talking about he gonna kill her if she scream. Now, unlike Yvonne, he didn't spoon Diana. He stayed on top of her and made her close her eyes, told her he would kill her if she looked at him. And then this sorry excuse for a human being proceeded to rape this woman for 2 whole ass hours. All the while he doing this raping, he demanding money and want to know what her valuable shit is in the house. I mean, asking questions about what she got while he is forcibly raping her. She says that she is crying and he at first was telling her shut the fuck up and then he switched to want to wipe away her tears. Nigga, you causing the goddamn tears. Like, what the fuck? But I'm gonna tell you, Diana was on her shit though. She had the presence of mind to use her hands to feel on his body to see what she could use later as something to describe him, what kind of scars he had, what his haircut felt like, and she would peek, anytime she could to get a look at him. Now, Robert Puss ass tell her that he is not gonna kill her, but she gonna have to take a bath before he go. But wait. It wasn't just the bath part of this. This diabolical ass motherfucker then proceeds to wipe down Diana's house while she in the shower getting clean. And when he got done cleaning up his fingerprints and all of that, Diana was still in the shower. This trifling motherfucker gonna poke his head in and tell her, hey, I'm about to dip, and you need to lock the door behind me so don't nobody else like me come through. Ooh, Jesus. And just like that, He strolled his pussy ass right on up out her house like he was an invited guest. You disgusting, grimy, low-down, foul-ass, trifling son of a bitch. I know y'all hate when I cuss, but I'm sorry. This is warranted. If ever there was a time to cuss a motherfucker out, it's this. The nerve, the fucking audacity. This nigga is cool as a cucumber. Like they was just kicking it and hey babe, I'm finna go. You been in this woman's house taking your motherfucking time like you boo or some shit like that. Ooh, honey. Diana hopped out that goddamn shower, ran across the street to her neighbor's house and called the cops. And of course they came through deep because they understood what it was. As soon as they heard the details of the crime, they already knew who it was that had done this bullshit. It was the Linden area rapist. And yes, we've been looking for him for 13 years and he is still out here raping. But oh, baby, here's the gotcha. The police have finally been able to get the swab samples tested, right? And the money that came through got that backlog out the way. And baby, the DNA machine was DNAing the fuck out that backlog. And wouldn't you know it, Robert Patton Jr.'s luck finally ran the fuck out. They matched his sample to some samples from a previous rape, and they knew exactly who they needed to go scoop up after Diana's attack. So the day after he raped Diana, June 7th, 2004, the police arrested his monkey ass for Diana's rape. But baby, this is when it just really went to hell in a handbasket, right? You see, the police, they figured based on the evidence that they were looking at Robert for like 17 rapes, right? And that's a whole lot of raping and robbing. Don't get it twisted. It's like, whoa, Nelly, right? But when they got this violent pussy snatcher in the box, how about he snitched on himself? Yes, we love a good snitching on himself ass nigga. When he got in that room, he was like, shit, it's about time. 17? Oh, that's all y'all got? Oh, it's a whole lot more where that came from. Clearly y'all ain't up on game. Baby, he was like, let me run this down for you, chapter and verse. And that's exactly what he did. But wait, he wasn't just telling. This nigga was also showing. Yes. How about he jump in the car with the cops and takes them on a tour of his greatest hits all around Columbus. He took their asses to 69 places where he had did his motherfucking thing. 39 of them where he dropped off unwanted, unasked for, unexpected, unappreciated rape dick, and 30 more spots where nobody was home, so he just robbed the place. Just out here pointing out houses that he done ran up in, houses that he walked into and raped whoever the fuck was in there. Just a show and tell motherfucker, just audacious, diabolical, and negastical on negastical. I just, oh my God, the audacity. Like you are bragging. You are proud of what you've done. Let me show you. Let me take you. Oh, that's all you got? I can show you better than I can tell you. To say that the popo's flabber was gasted, oh, that was an understatement. Because to go from 17 to 39, that's a big fucking jump. And not the good kind. So they get back to the cop shop and then they got to start rewriting up the charges because, you know, shit, a motherfucker done caught carpal tunnel trying to write all this shit up. I mean, they basically had to use a scroll for all the goddamn charges. 135 counts of foolishness and fuckery in total. We talking 71 counts of rape against 37 different women since 1987. Now, I don't know what happened to them last two women because remember, he took them to 39 houses where he had raped a bit. But however, whatever, 37 is what we got. But this is, it's always one. It's always one. After, it hit the news that, hey, the Linden area rapist has been caught. He's in custody. Baby, tell me why Robert's ex-mother-in-law, because, yeah, he was married at some point and had a couple of children with somebody's daughter. This woman, the ex-mother-in-law, is out here in front of the jail talking about, they got the wrong man. This is something he would never do. My daughter and my granddaughter are devastated. Girl, Miss Martha Sanders, that was her name. Miss Martha, how you think Robert's victims felt? This is a perfect moment for you to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Cause how you out here repping for a rapist? Are you serious? Ma'am, the charges alone should have had you strong and silent in his corner. Put some money on his book. You can't help who you love. You can't help who family. I ain't saying that, but ma'am, this motherfucker has raped his way all around the Linden area. You been reading about this shit in the paper. They say your ex-son-in-law is the nigga. And you literally out here on the streets hooping and hollering and carrying on by the rapist? Dumb bitch university graduate summa cum laude. Baby, they out there. Woo, they out there. They out there. Moving on, because I can't get caught up with Miss Martha. June 21st of 2004, he would have his first time in front of a judge. Baby, let me tell y'all how this nigga walked in on one. He walks in like he at a show. He literally said, let's get this party started. Just up in that bitch, sniggling and grinning and shit. Nigga, you too cocky for me. And all that cock you done passed around Linden, we finna put your ass up under the jail now, honey. Now, at this particular hearing, he proceeded to plead guilty. At this first one, they only had 7 counts against him, and he pleaded guilty to all of them, which is not what you would usually expect, but this ain't your usual nigga. He talking shit to the judge, and he taking this shit for a joke. He been out here in this span of time since his arrest up until this court appearance, he's doing interviews. He is basically out here bragging on his dick. You a trifling, ugly, just disgusting soul-ass bastard. Just, ugh. July 7th, he lost his public defender because he wasn't with them shenanigans. Sir, you're going to have to do better. Do fucking better. And so August 9th, he was back up in front of a court proceeding in the Franklin County Common Pleas court, and he's still acting a whole ass donkey. At this point, the new public defender's here. He telling the judge he don't want the public defender to ask for any more time to get ready for trial. He want to do the shit right now. This raper that rape had the unmitigated gall to tell the judge that he was, quote, ready to roll. Right hand high, that's exactly what that stinking motherfucker said. I promise you I wouldn't lie to you about nothing like that. He told the judge if his lawyer wasn't ready to do the damn thing, then he would represent himself. Ain't that about a bitch? Here this nigga is, all in a hurry like he got somewhere to be. And the judge was like, look, hey man, it don't usually work out too good when a motherfucking criminal try to play lawyer. I'm just trying to put you up on game. And that pussy ass Robert say, you know what? It don't even matter. In this situation, it's gonna all go bad anyway. And you know what, Robert? That might be the realest shit that a pussy ass nigga ever said. Cause it ain't gonna go good for you whether you got a good lawyer or a bad lawyer. Cause nigga, you did that shit. You a Mr. Raper Man. This shit here ain't gonna end well for you. So you might as well get up there and show them what you're working with. Well, the judge was like, you know what, you gonna do what you gonna do and we're gonna let you do what you want to do, but we're gonna go on ahead and put you with a private lawyer to act as your co-counsel just in case, you need a little backup or whatever. And so a lawyer named Terry Sherman was appointed as his new lawyer on the case. But Robert was very clear, I'm ready to go to court and now I'm ready to get this thing started, right? Well, the new lawyer, he was like, fine, you ready to do the damn thing? At least let me try to do some damage control. And so he went on a mission to try to get a little judicial relief for this rapist, right? He was in court on August 13th, filing a motion to get 42 of them 135 charges dropped. Attorney Terry said that the clock had ran out on these allegations. You see, in the state of Ohio, any rapes that had been committed before 1993, they had a 6-year clock. And so in 1999, they extended the clock to 20 years. But you know what? I'm calling bullshit because 6 years or 20 years, I don't give a fuck. I take offense to that. Now, I could go for this clock shit if the victim didn't come forward. You know what I'm saying? If it's been 6 years, 16 years, 26 years since this rapery happened and nobody was alerted and there was no DNA, okay, I can compromise on the clock, right? But if a motherfucker took my cookies and I reported that shit to y'all and y'all got DNA, I wouldn't give a fat rat's ass when you stumble across that motherfucker that violated me. 2 days, 2 months, 2 years, 20 years. You can catch that motherfucker on his way out the door. But if you come across the DNA that match my shit, prosecute that motherfucker. I did what I was supposed to do. I reported, I got poked, and I got prodded to give the authorities all the forensic evidence that was needed to prosecute the trifling bastard that did that shit. And if you add to the fact that a rape victim got a 50-50 chance that all this poking and prodding ain't gonna go nowhere because the evidence just gonna be sitting on a shelf in a dusty-ass room full of a whole bunch of other non-tested evidence, it's not the victim's fault, and they should not be penalized. This nigga's DNA done sat on the shelf for years, since September 2001, and here it is 4 years later, and we just not getting around to doing our damn jobs, and you talking about the clock done ran out? Fuck you. Fuck you. Now, at this point, now that he got a real attorney and not a public defender, Robert done switched up, and now he's saying it wasn't him. He is not guilty. Nigga. You been singing like the rent do. You took them motherfuckers on a tour of all your crimes. You been all on the news talking about it was you. And now you want to act brand new? Boy, stop. We know who you are. You showed us who you were and we believe you. And in a month and some change, around the beginning of the year 2005, here go Robert changing his mind again. He done had a change of heart, and now he is going to plead guilty. He all up in the courtroom talking about, I'm sorry, y'all. And then he tell the judge, this shit here crazy. He tell the judge, whatever you gon' give me some more. I don't deserve to ever get out. That's a quote. And it's also facts, because you don't deserve to get out. But it ain't often that a motherfucker go up in the courthouse and be like, I think you can do better than that. Give me some more. That's all you got? Sir. But I love it for you, Robert. I love this for you. Well, January 12th, that very next day, he was sentenced to 68 years and fined $2.5 million in restitution. You wanted more? The judge gonna give you more, because judge was just gonna do 50 and call it a day. But since Robert up in that thing talking about give it to me, baby, the judge was like, whatever you want. Robert Patton Jr. is inmate A487259 at the Madison Correctional Institution. He is eligible for parole May 21st, 2072, when he is 109 years old. Well, Robert, I say good luck to you if you make it that long. But you know what? My hope and prayer for you is that every day of your sentence, you suffer from infected boils on your balls and a prolapsed anus from all the dick that Tiny is giving to you. You know that's how I like it. But you know what? No, I don't give a fuck. I say the only punishment that fits the crime is to chop that motherfucker off. No anesthesia. Just a rusty butcher knife and a blind motherfucker doing the chopping. Cut that motherfucker off. This deplorable dickhead literally used his dick to rape his way through a whole goddamn neighborhood of women. That's still too good for him. Like, y'all, I don't understand it. Serial rape should be a capital crime. If proven to have raped multiple women, and by multiple, I mean anything more than one, then we should be Lorena Bobbitt that ass. If you want to put a stop to the grab 'em by the pussy ass incels, just start cutting dicks off. I bet you motherfuckers would think twice. I mean, think about it. If men were getting raped at the same pace as women get raped, this shit would already be the law of the land, because nobody wants to be violated with a dick in their private parts. I mean, as women, we go through some shit with these Neanderthal ass men. I mean, you got to watch out for that friend that might fuck around and try to take advantage of the situation. You got to watch out for the stalker types that get fixated on you by proximity. You just up in the coffee store trying to get you a cup of joe, and this motherfucker think you beautiful, and now y'all go together and he imagining all kind of things and just crazy. Then you got to watch out for that motherfucker that sneak in your house and rape and rob you like Robert Puss ass. You got to watch out for that handsy ass male relative, you know, the Uncle Joe that don't nobody let their daughters go around, or cousin Pee Wee, or whoever the fuck the motherfucker is. I mean, it's exhausting. Like literally, because you never know who might be the raping raper that rapes. You know, PSA, I just got to, it's on my heart. You know, I got a handful of men folk that listen to the pod. And so I'm going to say this to y'all, and I need y'all to spread the word. Sisters, y'all already know what to do. But men folks, cousins, let me ask you this. How would you feel if you was just minding your business and a motherfucker grabbed you up and put some dick in your ass? I mean, assuming that's not what floats your boat. That feeling that you just got when you imagine that dread, that pain, that clenching, ooh, ow, type shit. Yeah, that. Well, that's us. That's the shit that women actually go through. It's not imaginary for us. This shit happens way too much. And that's why I feel the crime of rape, serial rape, should be taken just as seriously as a homicide. Because when a human being is raped, something in them dies. And for some, there is no recovery. And it can happen in the blink of an eye. Now, I have never been raped, but one time in my life, I think I came real close. I was young. I was like 18, and me and one of my besties was hanging out with a couple of guys from my school that played football, and we kicking it or whatever, and we playing a drinking game. You know, I think the game was called Bullshit. And me and my girl, we are losing badly, right? And at first it was cool, right? Because I'm with friends. It's okay. I know these dudes. These are my homies. We go to school together, right? Been in school most of our lives. I've been knowing you since you was buck tooth and snot nose. You know what I'm saying? We about to graduate together. But I was wrong. Man, when I tell y'all I was toe up from the flow up in my geeked outness, right? But even though I was good and drunk, I could sense a change come over my homies. A whole bunch of head nodding and slick smiles and looking at each other just like they were sharing an inside joke. You know what I'm saying? And then came the hands, you know, scooting over a little too close. Yes, I'm drunk as fuck, but I still got the presence of mind to make one play because I feel it in my bones. It's about to go down and I can't fight these niggas off, right? So I get up and go to the bathroom and I pick up the cordless phone. This was in the 90s, so you know everybody had a landline, and I took the cordless phone with me to the bathroom. And I called my homeboy and I told him that I thought me and my girl was about to get got and could he please come get us. He knew the dudes that we were hanging with, and he knew that me and my girl was in some real danger because he knew, being a dude, what kind of low-life niggas these niggas really was, right? Y'all, Lord is my witness. About 15 minutes later, somebody was beating on the door, and it was my friend. He came in with that strap, and he legit rescued us. Because in the time between me coming back from the bathroom till he got there, man, them niggas was all over us and trying to just fight them off, like literally fighting them off. My homie saved me and my girl from getting raped because we was drunk as fuck and unable to fend off two linebackers in rape training, right? Homeboy, he my boy to this day. I love him down. And if he called, I'm coming, because when I needed him the most, he came through in the clutch. But you know, everybody ain't that lucky. Not every time does someone come to save the day. And for those that it doesn't happen for, they are traumatized because a motherfucker decided that they wanted some pussy, and that's all it was to it. The aftermath of rape is a ocean of pain that has triggers of all kinds, and it can seem insurmountable for some. I mean, with death, you gone. You communing with the lamb. And that's terrible for sure. But the effects aren't lingering because you gone. rape takes away a person's sense of safety, foundational shit, right? How you get over being raped in your house? How long will it take you to feel safe again? Some women never do, right? They never get over it. One of these women that was a victim of Roberts, I read that after it happened to her, she had to sleep with her daughter because she was deathly afraid of sleeping alone after she got attacked. And that's what I'm talking about with rape. The trauma, that violation, it's relived over a lifetime. Now, I didn't get raped, and the trauma of what almost was still haunts me some 30 years later. And it's the reason that from that day to this one, I don't drink like that. Oh, no. I will never put myself in a situation where I do not have control of my faculties, because you might have to fight for your life if some man decides today is the day. And our judicial system is some bullshit because it just cycles them in and out. I mean, if a rape is reported, it's a crapshoot as to how it's going to be handled based on geography and ethnicity and socioeconomic status. I mean, law enforcement may or may not collect the biological evidence. And even if they do, there's no guarantee that it'll be tested. And if it is tested, there's no guarantee that the criminal that did the crime will be tested. And if the sun and the moon do happen to align, there's no guarantee that this low-life, degenerate, raping scum will serve any significant amount of time. And if he do get some time, most assuredly, he gonna get time out for good behavior and pop out once again to violate somebody else. It's just a revolving door. Some crimes, you don't get no second chances. Like, you done. We good. We We let you go one time and you came back again. We done. All of them. You got to go. And it's this case, like I said, it boils my blood. I can't stand a motherfucker that want to take something so precious. Like all this cootie cat out here in this world, it's somebody that'll give it to you. You can go buy that shit. It's a commodity. You do not have to take it. But wishful thinking ain't stopped nothing. I gotta go. Let's talk about it on social media. Y'all know how to get at me. I am the Melanin Mayhem Podcast on most platforms, and on X, I am Melanin Mayhem PC. Please do go like if you like what you hear. Go on ahead and give me a like over on your favorite streaming service too, please and thank you. This week's New One Nation shout out goes to Happy Erica. And I'm saying Erica, but it's actually HPYEKA. I mean, that could stand for everything. But when I saw it, I was like, Happy Erica? Okay. HPYEKA left a review over on Apple, and it was titled Best Storyteller Ever. Cousin Renee is an exceptional storyteller. Her unique voice draws you in, and her brilliant humor never fails to brighten my day. I could happily listen to her narrate something as mundane as paint drying and still be enthralled. Her stories make my workdays fly by, and I often find myself laughing out loud. I'm completely hooked. Keep up the fantastic work, Renee. Your talent is truly inspiring. Oh, hearts all around. That was such a beautiful review. Thank you so much. I'ma still say Happy Erica. HPYEKA. You just made my whole entire day. Thank you so much. I so love reading y'all reviews. My cheeks be hurt, man, because I be smiling so damn hard. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to my crazy ass. And thank you for also taking the time to write a review. It is so appreciated. Now, y'all get on out here and spread the word, honey, and tell everybody. Put me in the group chat. The Melanin Mayhem Podcast is what you need to be on, baby. Don't forget, like and subscribe, please. And thank you. I gotta go, but don't forget about the website, melaninmayhempodcast.com. If you want to get down on the subscription side, because I do a little extra over there, and I got some stuff that I'm really playing with that I can't wait to post. You can join if you go to melaninmayhempodcast.supercast.com, and you too can get down with the Melanin Mayhem original story series and all the other extra little goodies I put over there on the subscription side. As usual, it is 4 o'clock in the morning, and this must be up in the next 4.5 hours. So your girl got to get busy. I'm going to get in the kitchen, do what I got to do, polish this up a little bit. But baby, it has been my pleasure to kick it with y'all a little bit today. I hope that the rest of your week goes exactly the way you want it to, and I can't wait till we get together again next week. So you know how we do when we close the doors of the church. Y'all stay safe. Ooh, and stay vigilant, because them raping ass motherfuckers is out here. And remember, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. It's one love, New Orleans Nation, and your favorite country girl is out of here.
Woo-wee, Nana, you did that.